this project is very much not about one size fits all. It's about carefully tailoring and crafting a property and a design to be unique and have its own character. And so we've developed a series of palettes, let's call them, a series of material finish options that members will be able to purchase and ultimately even customize for their own home. So the first one, our first palette we created, is a rich palette, and rich in terms of it's saturated. It brings in color and it brings in veining in stone and texture in that stone. It is the one that I would consider probably the most glamorous of the three, in that simply it uses very expressive finishes throughout. The second palette goes in a slightly different way. It strips back a lot of the texture and the color, but delivers it more in the finish quality. So for example, texture may come through in the way the wood is detailed on the coffee table, or in the way the table is finished at the dining table. We like to think of this one as being a little more minimal. It's less saturated. The third palette actually takes it in a slightly different direction and tries to play with it as if it were sun bleached. Like what would this philosophy, what would this design concept look like if it were something that was very pure, like almost white throughout? So we looked at, using woods, fabrics, and finishes throughout, even the stones, that really are almost whitewashed throughout. So they have this very pure light quality to them. And they still have the texture, they still have that authenticity in their character. We're not trying to scrub that away, but they're just much more neutral. It's a much more neutral palette. And so you can see that there's a bit of a scale here, going from the first being it's rich and saturated to the second one being quite natural and soft, and the third one being almost very neutral and clean.